Hi friends, it's so nice to be here. I'm Katie Owens. I am a wolf trap teaching artist with the Arts-Based Collaborative at the University of Tennessee, Chattanooga. I made a book and I wrote a story and I would love to share it with you. Can I share my story with you? Thank you. All right, Finn in the Forest by Katie Owens. That's me. Finn is a fox. He loves to play in the forest. Wild berries grow on a bush. Finn eats some wild berries. Finn looks up and sees big rain clouds. He runs home. Finn goes down in his den to stay dry. Finn had a fun day. The end. Let's take a look at my book. My book is big. My book has a pink cover. It has green words. On the inside, my book has pictures and words. The pictures are the illustrations. The illustrations are the images that go along with the words in the story. You can find a book on a shelf. You can also find a book in a library. Does my book look like those books? No, my book is special. I made this book myself. I made this big book by getting some big pieces of cardboard and folding them together. Has a couple of different pages. I used some nice pens and markers to color in the words and the pictures, and a big string to bind it. I made this book and I'm a bookmaker. Inside the book, I wrote my story. I used my imagination to write my story. All right, and in order to use my imagination, I put on my imagination hat. Would you like to join me and put on your imagination hat too? Okay, my hat is a straw hat. It has a little ribbon and I tie it underneath my neck. All right, now I'm ready. Did you know that making up stories is learning? You use your imagination and your curiosity, and then you come up with an idea. It takes your imagination to come up with an idea, and when you do that, you come up with something new. And when you do something new, your brain grows in wonderful ways. You can create your own story. What does it take to create your own story? 3 elements. 1, 2, 3. Character, setting, and plot. All right, so let's learn. Number 1, you've got to choose your character. A character is a person, a creature, or an animal. And you've got to just think of what you really, really love. It could be your stuffed animal at home. It could be a person that you care about so much, or even an imaginary creature like a unicorn. All right, so once you've got your character, you choose your setting. Number 2, you decide on a place. You could, it could be a real place or an imaginary place. It could be your backyard. Okay, now we've got 1 and 2. We've got our character and our setting. What we have to do now is choose a plot. Number 3, you've got to make something happen. What you want to do when you're choosing your plot is think of what you want your characters to do in the place. You can choose a few things to happen, or you can choose many things to happen. That's up to you because you're the author. All right, we're on our way to creating a story. Let's go back to my book, Finn in the Forest. So I think it's pretty easy to remember who we have as our character. Finn is our character. There's Finn. He is in the forest right there. And why did I choose Finn? Well, I chose Finn because I love foxes. Number 2, the setting. We're in the forest. Why did I choose the forest as my setting? Because I love the forest. Okay, what did Finn do? He ate some berries. He looked up and saw some rain clouds. And then what did he do? He ran home. And he went down in his den to stay dry. Finn had a fun day. Now that we've learned about a story, we've learned the elements of the story, I'd like to teach you how to make your own book. Are you ready to learn how to make a book at home? It's very simple. You need only a few things. All right. So number 1, you want to get some cardboard. You can take some cardboard from a cereal box, or you can get it from a cardboard box from something that maybe was delivered to your door or something that you brought home. If you don't know where any of these materials are in your house or apartment, you can ask a caregiver, and I'm sure they'll be happy to help. Number 2, you want to get some paper. You can get paper from a notebook that would be white or tan. You can get some rainbow colored construction paper, which is my favorite. And depending on your story, you can get a few pieces of paper or a lot. It really depends on how your imagination is going and if you have a couple of pages or if it's a really, really super long story and maybe your character goes on a long adventure. It's really up to what your story is about. Number 3, you want to get some writing utensils. So my story about Finn has words and pictures. So what you want to do is get your writing utensils. You could get pencils or crayons or markers. Those are all great ideas because you want to write your words and your pictures in your book. So what you want to do is get your cover, fold your cardboard in half, fold your pages in half, and now you've got the shape of a book. And you write your cover. All right. My book. And then what you want to do is get your string. Wow, my string is blue and sparkly. You could use a shoestring. You could use a piece of rope even. I got my favorite string. It happens to be what I use to wrap presents with. And you want to use your string as your binding. So you wrap it around and tie it. And look here, you've got a book. Wow. I'm just sitting here thinking about all the wonderful stories that you guys will come up with. You guys will decide on your characters. Man, it really could be anything. Then you'll decide on your setting. Your character can go any place in the whole wide world. and then you'll come up with your plot. So you guys get thinking about what you want your characters to do, and soon you'll have a story, and then you can make a book, put that story inside, and you'll just be so proud. You know, when I made my book, it really made me feel proud because I put on that imagination hat, I came up with some ideas, I used my imagination, and then all of a sudden I had it. I had my story, I had my book, I had something to show that I made. That made me feel so proud. I just wanted to say thank you to you guys for joining me. I had so much fun teaching you about stories and books and learning. One of the most important things I hold in my heart is imagination. You can do anything with it. If you use your imagination and your curiosity and your creativity, you can do wonderful things.
Funding for lessons featuring Wolf Trap teaching artists is provided by Lyndhurst Foundation.